What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the One Up Podcast. I am your host, Jose, aka El Caballo, here with some of my co-hosts and best friends, Pucho, Mateo, and Doughboy. Yo, Pooch, so what you been up to, man?
Still playing games. Still watching Snowpiercer. I recently got my Demon Souls Platinum. My first PS5 game that I've really played through. So,
Damn,
it's just dope. Yeah, I know. Me and Easy's been going ham on that game. It's good. I never really gave it an honest try when I played it back on the PS3. Is a really good game. I enjoyed it.
what about you, Mateo? What you been doing?
Just gaming and working, dude. It's COVID times, man. There's not a lot of excitement going on. You know,
Yeah, I can hear that.
Still more Valheim. Yeah, we'll see if I get into anything else here.
What about you, Doughboy?
Believe it or not, I'm still trying to beat Persona 5 Royale. So
I thought you beat that.
I'm like 110 hours plus. It's got to be somewhere in that 120.
Is it because you're doing a bunch of side quest bullshit, or you just?
Oh, that's just how long the game is.
I don't think I can dedicate that much time to a game anymore, dude. I don't know the last time that I put that much time into a game.
It certainly is getting to a point where I'm like, wow, this is a lot to take in. It's still amazing, and even the way they tell the story towards the end, it all leads up, and we kind of have gotten past the climax, in my opinion. So for me, it's kind of like, when is this shit gonna end? But apparently, I have 3 months more with the Royale content. So we'll see where this takes me. I am trying to go for the platinum. I'm only a few trophies away from actually making that happen. So it looks like I'm gonna get a platinum there. All the trophies pretty much fall into your lap. There's only a few, like you gotta go to visit locations and stuff like that. So
You guys are platinum whores.
one
I think
thing,
it's called Platinum Junkies.
yeah, platinum.
It's still. We're still gonna do it. I figured
we have to.
once we get into some number of episodes, maybe we get another day to record something like that, or maybe just two of us. However, it plays out. We could do a PlayStation podcast, and we could throw it up on the same channel. I'm the Platinum Junkies, man.
That was
I got a lot of plats. I got over 100 plats now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I got a bunch too. I got like 4.
That's insane. The last platinum I got, I had to go back and get it. Was the Spider-Man one.
The original.
Yeah, the original one. Do you remember, Pucho, when Demon Souls came out on the PS3?
Yeah, I remember. It was like 2009.
Do you
Oh, yeah.
remember when I sold? What was it? I took my Rock Band back. The Rock Band Beatles.
The Rock Band Beatles.
The blue pad wasn't working. It came defective, and instead of me reboxing it up,
Just
and
like the
sending
other
it
one,
back to
right?
Harmonix.
I'm sorry, just like the other one.
No, the other one.
No, just like no. The other one was defective.
By a very good friend of mine that came over, and we had a good time. But he had a really good time. It seemed like he unleashed. There was this song, "You never start of me, and I'm about to break."
Linkin Park.
Unfortunately, one of my instruments suffered a catastrophe after that song was played.
Nah, fuck that. We're gonna get into this. I went to Doughboy's house when we were younger. He had Rock Band. I've never played it, Mateo. Right? Never. I always thought it was lame. And then Pucho and Doughboy was playing the shit out of it. Pucho was the bass. No. Pucho was the guitar. Doughboy was the drum or the bass guy, I guess. And he also had a micro. He had the full setup, right? So I was all right, cool. I'll play with y'all. I'm fucking with y'all niggas. Let's do it. So I got into it. I said, yo, let me use the drums.
Yeah, we would all start to take turns. All right,
Yeah.
I have to be the singer now, and you be the drummer.
So I was like, let me be the drummer. I want to, play the drums. And so he's like, all right, this is what you do to play. I'm like, all right, cool. As I'm, practicing, I'm hearing all the drums. One clicks a little bit louder. The other one's clicking normal, whatever. So we start playing. I don't know what song it was because it wasn't the break. I don't think it was about to break. Maybe. I don't know. We start playing.
That's where it broke, but it was a build up to that. There was the break was right here. and then I couldn't use it anymore. But we were building up to it. But when the first time you play Rock Band, I don't know why they didn't make those things tougher. When you think about it in retrospect, I'm like, yo, this did not have enough A padding, 2 protection for the rim, because if you did not hit the pad, that means that you were hitting the edge, which was a piece of plastic, and it was just you instead of hearing the pads, it will go clack, 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 clack.
Yeah.
What is that?
That's what you did.
What
You
was
said it was a
doing.
piece of plastic. I don't know what this, how that was supposed to help me visualize. It was a piece of plastic.
Fucking guy, bro.
Like it wasn't quite square. There was an angle to the gesture. I didn't
know.
understand that. But.
The rim of it should have been all rubber, like with some sort of plastic, because
So it should have been more like this for the.
all right. So anyways, that example. Thank you.
So
right,
we're playing, right? We're fucking playing. I'm enjoying the shit out of the drums. I'm hitting almost every note on point, right? Pow, 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 pow. So then so yeah, whatever, nigga. First time playing it. So I'm hitting it, and then we switch around. Then I'm the vocal guy, breaking habits. I think it was the name of the song, or Linkin Park, crawling. I don't know, Linkin Park song. And the guy was singing, I'm about to lie. Every time I just kept, at those points I would go, and it would hit pretty fucking good on the line, right? Whatever. So then a couple days go by, whatever. Pucho calls me. Pucho hits me up like, yo, I think you broke David's drum set. Like, what the fuck you mean I broke his drum set? Some shit was working just fine when he was there playing. He was like, one of the pads are clicking and clacking. I'm gonna go by his crib later or some shit like that.
One of his pads were caved. It was caved in. The shit. It was not clicking and clacking. The shit was caved.
So he said he was going back to his crib later. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be there. Meanwhile, Doughboy has no idea that Pucho was telling me this shit, right? So I go over there and I'm like, yo, we should play Rock Band, right? And Doughboy's like, nah, the drum pad broke. I'm like, oh. How'd it break? And, you know, Doughboy, I could see in his face he wanted to say, you broke my shit, nigga. And he was just, no, I don't know. I think maybe when you was playing it, he was all soft with it. Maybe when you was playing it, it just listen to it. So I go over there, and it is making a noise. I'm like, oh. Well, Pucho told me you said that I broke that shit, right? And he was like, well, yeah, you was the last one. Fuck out of here. I didn't break shit. That shit was pre-broken. I came in and played it. Now you want to pass it on to me that like I broke something of yours. And Doughboy made this whole thing. Then real Doughboy came out and was like, oh yeah, I was about to break, you fucking hit the damn shit on the side of the plastic. You hit the side of the fucking plastic and it broke. I'm like, nah, bro. Them shit's been clicking and clacking before I even started playing that shit, and you just want to pass it on.
And coincidentally, it was the blue one that broke. And when I bought the next one, because I got that one sent in, and Harmonix sent me a new one. They seen the damage that was done. They said they felt bad.
They took their measurements. They were like,
and they sent me
it's not like
one.
this. It's like this.
What I think is hilarious is that Tony has a long history of destruction.
Name it.
History of destruction.
He has a long history of destruction.
I have no, I don't.
We have over 5 instances of you destroying something.
Name
Didn't
it.
you break a chair at our Florida trip?
Nope.
Well, how about when you broke Matilda's chair? Remember that?
I'll explain that story.
I'm just saying.
I didn't
or
break
what
it.
about Everett's vase or the thing?
What thing?
We were dancing in Everett's house one night, and you broke the vase.
I didn't break the
Shit
vase.
shattered. Oh yeah, you kicked it over. Dude.
I did not.
And you broke Everett's couch. You weren't even in the house, and you broke the couch.
So
Remember that one?
we're attacking this shit one by one. First one at Everett's people's house. They had this old plastic, you know, those old foldable chairs for the beach and shit. Old as fuck. Everett was sitting on it, and she brought us she was bringing us plates of food to eat. And I was like, all right, cool. And so they're bringing me. I was sitting on the bed, and everyone was like, yo, sit on this chair, nigga. I don't want you to spill nothing on the fucking bed. Da, 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 da. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I go and sit on it, gently sit on this chair, right? Didn't even move. She brings me a plate, brings Everett a plate. I grab the plate and I hold it like this at my stomach and I'm about to eat. Boom, the chair fucking breaks.
He caves into the ground.
I'm like, bueno, my nigga. Everett's there like, with a face like, wow. And then the grandmother
Broke
comes
my
in.
fucking grandmother's chair.
I'm like, oh, fuck. Tú tienes que comprar otra silla. I'm like, oh, shit, dog. This old ass chair. I'm like, come on, bro. That was the first instant. Everett pre-broke that shit. Right? Okay. The second one with the vase. Dancing. Multiple motherfuckers was dancing in this area. Pucho was dancing in this area.
True statement.
Maybe the vortex of his spinning moves that he was doing
Whoa.
vibrated that vase.
And it just moved it over. He was like,
and it knocked it over.
What the fuck?
Niggas, and I'm on the other side.
Again, though?
it's the vortex.
Oh God.
Are you saying you're saying that somehow Pucho created a vacuum with his dancing movement?
It created the vortex that brought the vase over.
It has to be. It has to be. And there's another breakage that they blame me for. That could be me though. I was fucking with the lights, the light switches in the kitchen, and I was just flicking them on and off like a fucking rave. Flicking them on and off as a rave, and niggas was into it. Niggas was vibing. Niggas was happy, right? Whatever, left them on. Everett goes back to it to try to fucking work with it. It didn't want to work.
Nope.
That nigga was like, this nigga broke my light. He was like, nigga broke my lights. I'm like, bro, I didn't break shit, bro. Fuck. But I think I did break that because I was fucking.
Definitely can break a light by doing that.
So whatever that happened. One night on a Friday night, we was chilling at Everett's crib. All of us on the couch, right? Chilling, whatever. Everett likes to do these stupid shits where he's next to you trying to get your attention or talk shit about somebody in the room or just to make a joke. This nigga does this. I can't even show you the camera, right? You sitting down,
He jabs you right
you right here. Ta, 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 ta. You're like, you're like, what the fuck, nigga? Like, you're doing this. But he'll jab
hit you mad times real fast like that.
It's an unearthly strength he has on his fingertips. That shit is like, goes into your soul, comes back out and just repeated taps. I'm like, whatever. So there's gyration movements on the couch from that, right? Cool.
Tony looked like somebody who was getting hit with like a defibrillator. He was his whole body.
I was not.
just
No, see how
flopping
he's
on the
adding
couch.
extras. He's adding extras right now for the story. I was like this the whole time. Yo, chill.
Everett
nigga.
was jabbing him to get his attention. This nigga, Tony's like, blah, 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 blah.
That's extras. He's adding
Everett
extras.
stops and he looks at this motherfucker. He's like, yo, why the fuck are you gyrating on my couch like that?
Nigga is stabbing the shit out of me. I'm like this. Yo, chill. I was like this. Chill. And he's laughing the whole time, drunk, right? Cool. They all chilled the next day. I didn't come through. Whatever. How about these motherfuckers was all chilling on that couch, Pucho and Ever, right? Something happened. That couch broke between them two on it, right? This nigga has the audacity to call me and say, yo, you broke my fucking couch. I'm not even in the fucking house, my nigga. How the fuck I broke your house? How I broke your couch? How? Oh, from the prior day, or your gyrations you were doing. You pre-broke the couch, so when me and Pucho sat on it, it fucking broke. No, nigga. You was probably jabbing the shit out of Pucho, made that nigga gyrate, and then that shit broke. Or one of y'all niggas was doing something stupid. I ain't break your fucking couch. Oh, yeah, you did, nigga. Word. So then I go to Pucho. Yo, Pucho, this nigga's calling me saying I broke his fucking couch. Pucho's like, nah, it was Everett. I'm like, word. So I call Everett. Yo, you broke the couch, nigga. Pucho already told me you broke that shit. Don't blame me for that shit. What was that for? It was like a 3 different phone conference call prajas about who broke the fucking couch.
Everett said, I broke the couch after that.
This nigga bought an old fucking couch.
How about the hamsters?
The hamsters.
The gerbils, sorry.
Did you break a gerbil?
Yeah,
he broke many gerbils. Let's not get into it before somebody flags this video for animal abuse.
Nah.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody flagging shit. So, as a kid growing up, I worked with my dad selling Christmas trees at a Christmas tree stand. I got all the tips because I guess a little 12-year-old or whatever picking up trees and putting it on cars is like, oh my God, he's strong. So they got tips. So I had like $400 cash as a fucking kid. And right across from the tree stand thing was a fucking pet store. So I'm like, damn, I'm gonna buy a pet. I can literally buy a pet, cage and everything, and feed it. And my dad was like, oh, whatever, it's your money, do what you want. All right, cool. So I bought a fucking gerbil. And as a kid, I was like, all right, I have a fucking gerbil. I named him Sonic. I bought a plaything. I bought the whole setup for my little gerbil, right? I thought it would be cool to play hide and go seek with my gerbil. So I took him out of the cage and play hide and go seek with the gerbil. And my dad's little trailer mobile home thing that he had just for work. And my dad hates rats. He has a fear of rats. So let's just throw that out there in the whole story, right? So I'm there. I'm like, oh, Sonic, where you at? Don't find this nigga. This nigga's gone. So I go and kneel down to find him. My knee lands on his head and pops his eyes out and kills him.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
As a child, that was traumatizing to me because I started crying. I think I was probably like 10 years old or some shit. I just started crying. I'm like, Sonic's dead. So I picked up this fucking gerbil with his eyes popped out, blood everywhere, on my shirt. I walked to my dad, crying. My dad fucking drops what he was doing, looks at me because he thinks I cut my stomach open or some shit. He's like, oh, Tony, ¿qué pasó, mijo? ¿Qué pasó? I'm like, my gerbil. My dad was like, oh, vete pa la carajo, cursing me out, get the fuck out of here with that shit. He got so fucking mad. I'm like, fuck, I'm crying here because I'm sad because I killed my fucking gerbil. So then my dad was mad. He didn't want to see me. He was like, get the fuck out of here with that shit, right? Parenting back in the days. So I go back to the pet store and I showed them, like, oh, I'm crying. They're like, they felt bad for me, so they gave me another gerbil. So I took the gerbil home back to the thing and and I'm playing with Sonic number 2. I'm playing with Sonic 2 and whatever, and days go by. And then I took him out of the cage to clean it. I couldn't find him. I'm like, fuck, where is this gerbil at? So I put my shoes on, I go walk around, and I go and close the door or something, some type of door. A gerbil gets smashed and dies.
Oh my God, dude.
I start fucking crying again because I just killed number 2, Sonic number 2. So I grab the gerbil and I go back to the store, showed him. The lady looks at me like, oh shit. Like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, we can't give you another one. You're going to have to pay. I have a whole bunch of bread, so I'll pay for another gerbil. Take the gerbil back to my dad's trailer thing.
Is this Sonic 3?
No, I named him something else. I forgot.
No.
And then I don't know what happened to the gerbil. I don't think he had enough water in his thing, and he died. So I went back and got another gerbil. I got another gerbil. Number 4. Right? So then I played a game with that gerbil too. And that gerbil, I played hide and go seek with that gerbil, and he ended up dying too because I sat on it as a kid.
What?
I sat on the gerbil because I couldn't find it. It was under the blanket. So when I got so mad, I just like sat down hard on my bed, and then I felt something on my ass moving. What the fuck is that? I look up. It's the dead gerbil. The gerbil's dead again.
The way Lena tells this story is that Lena saw Tony. Tony was just going about his regular life. And Lena was like, oh my God, Tony. And she points, and he had a fucking eyeball dangling off his ass.
That's all lies. She loves adding extras. If you know my sister, she just want to add extras to the story. So whatever. So it died. I bought another one. And as an adult, these people should have been like, yo, these gerbils just keep dying with this kid. Like, there's some flags.
Those people probably thought you were a serial killer.
Yeah, some shit, right? So whatever. I've ended up with 6 gerbils at one point. The last gerbil, which was Sonic 3, I had him for the longest.
Went back to Sonic.
Yeah. I went
ran
back
out
to
of
Sonic.
names, he went back to Sonic.
So I went back to Sonic 3 and had him for the longest. Like, he survived. Like, I didn't play any stupid games. I actually put him in this little ball thing and we played whatever. We lived in Orlando at this time. And my dad had to stay home to watch the gerbil and shit because we went on somewhere without him. And my dad hates rats. So I made sure to give him enough food and enough water to survive for the 3 days that were gone. Come back, the fucking gerbil is fucking in fucking huge as fuck because he's just been eating and eating, and my dad didn't fill the water up.
Oh no.
So the Sonic 3 died.
Dehydration.
Yes. Then that was my favorite one. That thing stayed in my hands. I trained it and everything. It like stayed in my hand or stayed in my pocket, and we chilled. So whatever, it died. I gave up on my gerbil life. I said, no more gerbils. Fuck it. Like, it's not meant to be.
Gerbils. So do you think you'll start it again when your kid is around that age and like try to like?
Nah.
You don't want to rekindle your love for gerbils?
No.
Or your hate for them?
I have no hate for them. I love all animals.
So this is what I mean when I say Tony has a long history of destruction. Okay.
No.
I didn't know he was a gerbil serial killer, the John Wick of the gerbil world.
Bro,
he sees a gerbil, he can't help but kill it.
Hold on, bro. Imagine the gerbil point of view. They're like, oh, this nigga keeps coming back. Like they're looking up at him. He's back.
He talking about the one to the pet
word
store.
around town is,
yo, niggas go with you and they don't come back. Like, yo, but it's like, it's crazy, bro. Like, and then they made it into a joke. Oh, Tony just grabbed them and killed them all. Da, 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 da. I'm like, man, fuck out of here. I was a little kid. I was sad that
that seems very innocent, and it seems very innocent. Like, I'm sorry that you had to go through that.
It was traumatic for me, bro. Like,
didn't you drown one?
No, drown one. Nah, this is the problem with these
I could have
motherfuckers,
sworn
bro.
you one time told me that you put a gerbil inside one of those roly balls and
Never.
you put it in the bathtub. No, I invented this. Okay,
yeah. Or Lena might have told you some fabricated
maybe
shit.
Lena said some bullshit. Who knows?
This is the John Wick stuff, man. I heard you killed a guy with a pencil.
Nah, yeah, that's crazy. Like, the people want to put these bad shit on me, bro. I'm not no fucking. I'm the nicest guy. I love all animals besides spiders and like those type of insects and shit. But
is it weird that I love animals, but I don't want a spider or a snake around me?
No, that's not weird at all.
Or like even an orangutan. I ain't trying to chill with no orangutans. I'm not trying to chill with nothing that could kill me. An insect cannot kill me. A spider can't kill me. That motherfucker bite me and I'll have probably some effect or some shit like that.
A black widow bites you will die.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't fuck with spiders. I don't fuck with any of those. I mean, lizards are cool. Geckos are cool. But even then, I don't see the point in like capturing them. I had a gecko. You know, geckos live for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do to that gecko, though?
The gecko, my dad bought it for us. It had to be like 2000, something a little after 2000, 2001. And it lived all the way up to like 2015 when it escaped its habitat, and then it probably died when it escaped.
Dumbass.
But it was at my grandma's house, my Dominican grandma's.
Yeah, there's been a lot of fucking crazy stories that we all have of each other. Shit is wild. Even what?
Dale, no, I was just gonna say I'm fucking sick of animals. I don't. Once my dog passes, I'm never having an animal ever again.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat. Like, we got the 2 cats, the 3 cats, and the 2 dogs. Like, I'm done with these fucking animals. I don't want none of them. I told my wife, yo, we can get a bird. She's like, no, she doesn't like birds.
Birds are the worst pets, dude.
No, they're not. I had a little bird.
I like. If you're gonna go get a bird, get a parrot.
I'm not getting a bird. I'm just saying, like, we have a we got fish too. We got a fish tank.
Fish aren't pets. Fish are decoration.
Yeah, but it's whatever. I'm not getting any more animals. Like, my jid's gonna be fine with none of these animals involved. Once the cats die, I'll dig a hole in the backyard. Prayers, gone. You know what I mean? Other than that, fucking yeah, nah, I'm done with that shit. Also, I'll bring up another event. Doughboy, where he used to live in Lake Worth. This man I don't know. Pucho calls me one day, right? He's like, "Yo, I need you to come to Doughboy's house right now." I'm like, "Yo, what's good? Just come right now, nigga. I need you to look at something. Come. All right, get out, boom, go home, driving. I pull up. Do you see anything? I look around. I'm like, oh, what the fuck is that? It's a fucking dick tree. This tree just appeared out of nowhere. We've been going to this nigga's house for years. All of a sudden, this full grown tree, dick shaped shit, is just on the side of his fucking door. I'm like, yo, where the fuck did this tree come from? Pucho's like, I don't know. Doughboy says it's always been there. What?
This shit was hilarious because not only what Tony's saying, in Florida, trees are everywhere. So it's not like you're gonna see a tree and it's gonna really look out of place. This tree looked like out of a Dr. Seuss book. It was like thick at the bottom and very thin as it went up, and it had this weird like curve. It looked so odd and distinct that it felt like someone planted it, like a prank, like a previous night.
My brother also agreed with you guys. My brother was like, "What the fuck?"
This is what happened, right? Michael walked out and saw this tree, and he's like, and Michael would know. Michael used to go out, smoke his cigarettes outside.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, what the fuck is this tree doing here? Michael called me and said, yo, Pooch, you need to come to the house, all right? I want you to see if there's a tree. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I just want you to come. Bro, when I pulled up, they heard me because I started screaming of laughter so hard. Right when I pulled up and I just started laughing. Oh my God. Yo, this tree looked so fucking absurd. I immediately called Tony and told Tony to come. He also thought it was absurd. Though he's the only person who thinks the tree's always been there. It's like terrible. Dale.
After you guys are done with this tree story, I'll give you what actually happened. Because it is a good story
Of the tree.
and even for me, it took me a while to figure it out what happened.
Who put it there?
But
I'm curious. Go ahead.
Now that I know, okay, so we had neighbors next to us. When we first moved into the house, we had a 5-foot fence next door, and it was all cut off all the way through the back. The fence went all the way down, all the way across. Big ass fence. You couldn't even see into that next door neighbor's yard. And the people who lived there was like a Guatemalan family, and they used to have church service there. Shit used to get crazy in that shit. Them Pentecostals really know how to church it up. Them some churching motherfuckers, yo. Like, they'll church it up. So when Hurricane Francis and then Hurricane Katrina came, blew the entire fence over. Fence all fucked up. We didn't have shit for weeks. Those people ended up moving out very shortly after that. But what we saw afterwards was that they had a lot of potted plants. They left a lot of potted plants behind. And this potted plant just so happened to be in that area. And we just left it there. And from what I think, it just broke out of its pot and it went into the soil at an angle. And that's why it came out like this, because it just sat there. And that's what I think happened.
Doughboy, let me explain you something. You know how many times we walked outside of that door? Michael himself. There was no fence there by the time I started pulling up to your house. We walked past that shit so many times. We opened the door. There was nothing there.
It was much smaller probably. And it just grew.
That tree overnight, Mateo.
It's bigger now.
Oh, I could only imagine.
It looks like a regular tree now. It's still a little weird, actually.
Yeah.
That shit wasn't there. I don't give a fuck what Doughboy says. That shit wasn't there, my G. That shit wasn't there. That shit just fucking popped up like an erection and it's up and it's stuck, nigga. That's exactly what the fuck happened with that tree. That shit, I don't know. Doughboy be smoking some, I don't know. You smoking crack, buddy, because that shit don't make no sense to me. Ain't no tree popping up out of nowhere and then 3 people, 1 who lives there and 2 who's always there, have the same story, but you have the only different story.
You're doing heroin, Tony.
I am. I'm proud.
You're
Probably.
on that dog food.
Probably. Also, since
This is like that Mandela effect, is what it's called, where like people remember the same event like differently. But they swear that like it's always been this way. It's like the Barons I don't even know. I grew up. My memory it shows the Berenstein Bears, like some kind of German fucking bear family, but they're the Berenstain Bears, and it's shit like that. And then everybody swears to God it's one way or the other.
I saw a picture recently on Twitter that has the packaging says it one way. It's an old uh Berenstain Bears packaging, and the actual packaging has the one way of spelling it, but the tag that's on the actual piece of the doll or whatever has it spelled the other way, and they show it and they're taking a picture and you can see clearly. So I think a lot of these things may be true. It was just probably human error and translation errors from like either, you know what I mean, translating either way.
Yeah, it's possible. There's just a lot of things that everybody remembers so funny. Like the everybody swears to God there's a movie that Sinbad is in. That he's some kind of like magician or wizard or something.
Genie.
Right, but this movie doesn't exist.
Nope.
But I remember this. It's also funny that everybody knows it's Sinbad because like before I ever read about this, I had this memory in my mind. I don't know. It's just a bizarre thing that a bunch of people could have a very similar memory, and it could not be true.
The human memory is pretty fragile, man.
Yeah, they say the cornucopia that's in the Fruit of the Loom, that the Fruit of the Loom used to have the underwear used to have the cornucopia behind the fruits, and
Like a basket, right?
it's never been in the.
Yeah,
Fruit
I
of the
swear
Loom.
I've seen that shit.
Never
I
been in Fruit of the
swear.
Loom. There's a long video about it. Well, 15-minute. But I love those kind of videos.
Yeah.
Man, 15 minutes, that's way too long for a YouTube video. No one watches videos over 15 minutes.
I know. Barely watch 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's
I watch a lot of YouTube though. It's like my main, and maybe we're, just a few years ahead because everybody's just, I don't know, but it's my main way of entertainment when I'm out and about. I'm not putting on Netflix, or maybe when I'm eating at lunch, I'll watch a Netflix or I'll watch a HBO Max.
Now, when I'm working, I like to put on like old school playthroughs of like SNES games and whatnot that I used to play when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it's nice background noise. Especially if it's something like Secret of Mana that just has that awesome fucking soundtrack.
For sure. Oh man. All the old school games, they had such good soundtracks, dude.
No, I think SNES like really outclassed themselves, like from a certain standpoint in that era. I know there's a lot of like Genesis stuff, but like SNES really had some of the best music from like Donkey Kong Country, Super Mario World. Like Super Mario actually, believe it or not, like my first memory as a 4-year-old that I can think all the way back was the athletic song, the second level in Super Mario where it's like the spinning wheel thing and you have to jump. And that was like my first memory was playing that game. So it has like a special place in my heart. Yeah, but even the Donkey Kong Country music is incredible.
Man, I don't have the same level of love for Donkey Kong that like a lot of people do. And I don't know. They were all right, but like I guess I wasn't as big into the platformer games as some other people were. I played a lot of like JRPGs with my Super Nintendo.
I only played the first Donkey Kong Country, and I'm not a huge fan of the second and third one. But I know Pucho has played a lot of that.
Yeah. I mean, growing up, platformers were like my favorite genre. And Donkey Kong Country, I don't know, it's hard to get better than that. Like, and I love all three. I love all three of those games. I think they all have good soundtracks. They all play good. They just feel good to play. It's really fast platforming. Like, if you play quick, but if you take it slow, you could also, my wife's played through, a ton of Donkey Kong as well. So We got the SNES Classic over here, so we've had some dates where we just like pop some wine bottles and just play, SNES games and shit. It's pretty dope.
That's beautiful.
What about Cool Spot? You ever play that one?
What's that?
Do you remember that one? It was sponsored by like 7-Up or something. You just played like this red dot creature, and it was just a platformer game. It was goofy.
I remember really fucking weird.
Or
it had graphics. It reminded me of like Earthworm Jim or something. Like, it looked like painted. I don't know how to describe that. I don't know.
What's the name of the game? Because now it's driving me crazy.
Cool Spot.
Cool Spot. It
was sponsored by 7-Up. There were a few games like that. I remember there was the McDonald's kid, the McKids or something. Mm-hmm. That game was.
Yeah, I don't
that game was another one of the few sponsored games that I can remember.
The only one I remember.
There's that Xbox one, Sneaking. The Burger King game. You don't remember that one?
Never got to play those, man, because it was an Xbox exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I remember the most was the Doom clone that was inside the Chex cereal box. It was like a Chex game that's a Doom clone. And it was the most incredible thing in the world to me that I received this through. And I never fucking ate Chex. I just saw, like, when I looked up as a kid, I said, yo, this shit has a video game. Like, this shit has a PC video game in it. And I was like, fuck it, we're eating Chex this week. As a kid, I was like, I have to take that gamble. I have to see who is actually putting, and it ended up being like, it's just a reskinned version, and they made their own little Doom levels. But it's the most incredible shit in the world. I was like, as a kid, I never got to play Doom. Once again, I was in a very religious family, so that was very I didn't watch Power Rangers till I was like 5, 6 because like my mom wasn't having it. Double Dragon, my mom saw that shit. She was like, turn that shit off. You ain't getting no karate up in here. So we were very sheltered as kids. So we had to sneak that shit around and playing checks. We like, oh, it's just cereal characters, mom. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? It's green ooze. you know what I mean? But it was dope. Especially playing the game Diablo, going over my mom's Diablo. She'll look at another mom and be like, how are you letting your kids play this? This has the devil in it. It was very much like that. I came up in but I was the outcast as the family. Once they found out I smoked weed, ese fumando ese diablo.
Now you're the devil.
Una fumador. I was like, wow.
But you're fighting the devil in Diablo, though. Like,
yeah, right. Warriors of peace, killing to bring peace.
So I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about originally?
Just video games. You were talking about we were in that moment talking about like sponsored games. So we brought up McKids, okay, the Cool Spot, Chex. There's the Burger King game apparently.
Mm-hmm. There were a few. There was I think there was like a go-kart racing one, and then there was like a stealthy one where you had to like sneak around and give people burgers or something. Those games were stupid. I don't remember what the hell the point was.
I wish somebody snuck around and gave me a burger.
Word. Everybody wants that.
Did you play any of those spin-off titles? Anything like that, Tony?
No, not really. Let me see. The only game that I can remember is like Donkey Kong and Bad Fur Day. I fucked with the mainstream games. I didn't really play any of that other shit, to be honest.
Do you have a lot of experience playing like SNES and shit, like older consoles?
I can't really remember, to be honest. Like I remember, I can't name the games off the top of my head. Like I remember the Dreamcast. Like I remember playing the Dreamcast, and it was like this one purple chick that she had like a fucking some type of leotard on or something, and she was just like jumping from spot to spot. It's so vague. Like, it's crazy that I can picture myself playing the game. I just can't remember the name of the game.
So what's like the first like game? Like I guess what like the PS2 era is probably when you remember games. I guess.
Yeah, like Driver and all that. Driver was PS1, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I can remember that.
Driver was fucking awesome, dude. I remember I got stuck on the very first level of Driver because I didn't know what words meant back then. Because
Yeah, I think a lot of people do.
I don't know. I got a lot of my reading done while playing like RPGs and shit like that, and I didn't know how to pronounce words because there are a lot of words that I'm not familiar with. And I remember in Driver, the game starts. It gives you like 2 minutes. It's the worst fucking intro to a game that you could imagine. It basically drops you in this like parking garage, and it forces you to do certain things like, drive and come to a full stop, do a 180 turn and do this, do that.
You're doing a driving test.
They'll do
Yeah,
slalom. They'll tell you slalom, but without showing you what that is. And that's where I was always starting. I was like, what is a slalom?
Yeah. So that's where I got stuck in Driver. I couldn't get out the parking garage because it said do a slalom. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. And they're not giving me an example of what a slalom is. And then, one of my older cousins, he came over and, boom, he did the fucking driving test really quick. And then the rest of the game is phenomenal. And I'm like, holy shit, there's this super cool game that they're hiding behind this fucking driving test that I couldn't pass as a fucking 7 or 8 year old or whatever year this game came out. I don't know, man. I found that as games come out, I kind of miss like those old games. Like they're just so simple. Like you fucking start Donkey Kong, right? You just start the game. It gives you some bullshit story for like 10 seconds, and then you're just running, and then you know what to do. Just run to the right and jump, and don't fall into any holes. And I don't know. And then I feel like oh man, I remember when I got The Witcher 2 on PC, dude. Oh my god! There's like the tutorial. They tell you how every single key on your keyboard does some action, and it overwhelmed me so quick. I just stopped playing the game. I'm like, I can't play this shit.
There are legitimately games that I have started playing and then I got distracted, played something else, and I can't go back and play those games anymore because I don't remember the controls. I don't remember basically I would have to start over again. I'm like, fuck, I'm already 30 hours into this damn game. I'm not going to go all the way back to the beginning just so I can remember how to play this game again.
Yep. And yep. And the only games that they feel comfortable really are just like platformers and shooters. They all play the same. So it's like you could always come back to those games. But then when you get these crazy like third person RPGs and shit, they all control different. I don't know. Yeah. That's crazy.
Now we definitely need to dig into some of our favorite like old school games at some point. Like
absolutely,
there's some shit there. Like, man, I can talk about Super Nintendo RPGs all damn day. Like that's where I cut my teeth on gaming. That's what I grew up playing.
That's your
I'm
niche.
into making lists right now, so I'm super hyped. I can have it on paper in my iPad, the official list.
The official,
my kids, whoever, I'll upload it to the cloud. My kids can have it. And then when Skynet finally takes over and kills us all, and Amazon, for some reason, starts to package us, the people, to the robots.
What the fuck?
The robots are going to order someone who loves iPad lists, and specifically those specific games on the list. Like, I need that person in my house. Okay,
that's fucking beast.
Nah, it's funny, dude. Like when a few years after, like I got the N64. This might have been like 2002 or 3, right? So the PS2 had already come out. And
you had played the shit out of this N64 by then.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Super Smash Brothers. I had like Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Stadium. I mean, to be honest, I didn't really like the N64, dude. Like, there's some fun games that you could play with friends, but like beyond, like, there's like 10 games. Like, beyond those 10 games, for me, the console didn't offer much. Like GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, those games are on there, of course.
It revolutionized couch co-op. Like it was the golden age of couch co-op. Is what the N64 was.
For sure.
Shit was
And we had so
awesome.
many grand times. I feel like that's where, like, when we go back to good memories, we often go back to some of those times. And I feel like that togetherness, friends, getting it just helps. It's like playing online games now, but just like back in the day with one person, you kind of get to know that person better.
Yeah.
Dude, that's why Rock Band and Guitar Hero were so big, because they brought back that feeling temporarily for like the current gen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me and Doughboy played. It had to be over 100 hours or so of Rock Band, like easily. Like it was like every day after school we would go and we would just, I'd get out of work, I'd run over to Doey's crib, and it was just we would play Rock Band for hours. It was ridiculous.
Don't forget the in between things you guys ordered from those Parmesan subs and shit from Lake Worth Pizza or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that gave you the energy to fucking zone out for fucking 5 hours straight.
Those are, yeah.
I'm gonna
Very
say,
good
man, like, I don't know that there was. I bet there were more parties in my early 20s where we played Rock Band than parties where we did not play Rock Band. Like that had to be like a thing. Like even at a drinking night, there'd be like the crew outside smoking cigarettes and people in the backyard, and there was always a crew inside on the fucking couch just over there playing Rock Band at whatever party you went to in my early 20s. Like that was just a thing. That was just the shit that happened.
Sounds like my kind of party. That shit sounds awesome.
Facts. But what were you gonna say, Pooch? You were saying
No,
a
I was
story.
saying that like after I had played the shit out of my N64, I'm trying to remember. Man, I don't know what happened to my Super Nintendo, but I don't know. When you grow up in the hood and everybody's fucking broke, anytime you get something new, what happens is your mother gives your old shit to somebody else.
Yep.
So I never had the luxury. Like I know people that they still have every single console they've ever owned, and it shit is so foreign to me. I don't think I've ever had like 2 generations of consoles at the same time until I think right now I still got a PS3, PS4, and PS5. But it's literally the first time in my whole life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, it was always like when we got like as soon as I got my Super Nintendo, I don't know what happened to my Nintendo. As soon as that must have been given to somebody in Dominican Republic or something. And then we had a SNES and the Sega together. And then every time we bump up in generation, our fucking old shit would just vanish. And I just remember, like, I had the N64 and like, it was cool, but I was just yearning. Like, I just wanted to play like my old Super Nintendo games. And I had this friend, Jose, who lived in the neighborhood. He said his cousin wants an N64. And or maybe we were hanging out at his cousin's house and I saw he had a Super Nintendo and he was playing it and we were just chatting, and somehow the conversation came up and we were just like, fuck it, like why don't we just trade consoles? Like, and I literally trade you, dude. I swear to God, if my mother knew this happened, she would fucking destroy me. Like that I'm just giving the shit away that she purchased. But I straight up gave him like 3 N64 remotes, like a rumble pack, a memory card, like like a dozen games or so. And dude, this guy gave me like a JanSport like backpack full of SNES cartridges and even games that I had never played until like he gave me those games. I remember like I had this Peter Pan game that was fucking a Hook. It was Hook. That shit was fire, dude. And I had never played that before. He had Illusion of Gaia. That's literally the first time I played it. It was in that fucking book bag. And yeah, I fucking gave this dude my N64 and I just got back a whole bunch of SNES cartridges, 2 remotes and an SNES. I never owned A Link to the Past. That's literally the first time I owned that game. Like I beat A Link to the Past. Well, I played A Link to the Past with a friend in Dominican Republic. So like that's how I played that game. I had never owned it. I think I might have rented it from my fucking local. We had a bootleg Blockbuster, the Blockbuster of the hood around the corner of my house. It was called Bravo Video. These Dominican people own this place. I'm pretty sure it was $2.50, right? You could rent a game or a movie, maybe even for less, for 24 hours, dude. So I would go to Bravo Video on a Friday and rent like a Super Nintendo game. $2.50, yo. And if you don't bring that shit back Saturday by 7:00, you paying another $2.50, all right?
Mhm.
And dude, I played all the games, all my experiences growing up, like all those Super Nintendo games, because we were kind of poor, we couldn't really afford. And these games were so fucking expensive, dude. You want to buy Chrono Trigger, $100. Like, how the fuck was I gonna afford that shit? So yeah, I would go to the Bravo video, $2.50, play Donkey Kong Country. I would get that shit and I'd be glued for 24 hours straight. And you'd have to fucking kill me to get me off that shit. I've beaten so many games in that weekend. So getting that book bag full of SNES games, it was incredible for me, just because it was like I was able to own a lot of games that I never got to own. And the dude had a lot of good fucking games. I don't know how he acquired all these games, because I mean, he lived in the hood too, so he was relatively poor. I feel like back in the day, we just used to acquire so many games through like borrowing and stuff. I remember at one point I had, like, no lie, like 80 PS2 games, and my mom must have bought me like 3. So I have no fucking idea how I had all these games.
Jesus.
But it was just like people would just give me shit. I remember I went to New York once, and my cousin was just like, yo, I don't like this game. You could have this shit. He gave me Ico, bro. I fucking love that game. And then literally, that's how I went to this dude's house and I saw that game. It was the first time I played it. And I was like,
That's exactly what happened to me with Super Mario RPG. He was like, listen,
Fucking love that game, dude.
he's like, I'm done with this. I want you to play it. And I'm like, what is this? And he's like, just play it for me. And he was
Wow.
older than me and I was younger. And I was like, and I came home. It was some church friends. And he's like, yo, your mom's not going to get mad at you. It's just Nintendo characters. You're going to love it. And that's when I started playing Super Mario RPG. And there was a place when I started playing the sunken ship. You have to figure out that password. Dude, that's where my journey stopped for months. And like until one day, one of my mom's boyfriends was on the phone with her. And he says, hi, how you doing? And I'm like, I'm stuck on this game. I need an answer to this clue, this mystery. And I gave it to him. Apparently he had played the game and he's like, pearls? And I got it, bro. Happiest day of my fucking life, bro. Because I was able to continue playing the game. There was no internet at that time. I didn't fucking know what the fuck to do.
You could have called it that Nintendo hotline, dude. That 1-900 they had.
Yeah, right. Got my ass beat, bro.
wasn't it a free service?
It used to be free, then they started charging money for it.
Oh, wow.
That's
Really wanna
crazy.
try.
Game they released that it was super hard, so they put up a hotline for free, and then they were like, "Oh shit, we could make some money off this," and they changed it into a by the minute assistance line.
Yeah, but
Crazy.
well, I guess, man, this is another beautiful episode of the One Up Podcast. I hope all you guys enjoyed and laughed with us through my pain of the hamsters or the gerbils and shit. And don't think I'm a serial killer, because that's not what I am. Just wanted
Big
to have
shout
fun.
out to Sonic 1 through 3 up in hamster heaven.
Yeah, shout out to them. Shit's terrible. I can't even tell that story. But yeah, this is the One Up Podcast. If you guys haven't already, subscribe and hit that like button. And I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you.